Hello my basic beginners, and today we are going to learn something about computer parts. Okay, so you want to know what is making everything work. The computer in which you spare most of your time. How is it doing its work? So this video's topic is just that, and we are going to discuss all the parts inside a CPU box or a computer. I call it like that. This video is not in detail. It's just a brief explanation of every part of the computer. Okay, so let's start. So as you can see, this is the case of a computer. You have on the right side you have all these spaces in which your drives live in. That is optical drives, SSDs, HDDs, solid state drives, hard drives, etc. And on the top left corner you will have your power supply, and just below that our motherboard is going to live. And if you don't know these parts, we are going to discuss this in the video. Okay, so let's proceed. So this is called basically as a motherboard. This is basically the brain of all the work of your system is doing for you. So this has a small square, you can see, and that is for our CPU, that is Central Processing Unit. And what is this? This is just a processor which your computer programs process. So basically I think you know what is a processor. So the processor will go in there. Basically a CPU is just maybe 2 inches wide. So that is a CPU which goes into this. That is actually a Intel CPU which goes into that square port which we have seen on the motherboard. So that is it, and that is called as the CPU slot. And at the bottom of the motherboard you will find memory slots. And what does this mean? Memory is just RAM. RAM means random. RAM is just random access memory. Is the slot where your RAM goes. Now RAM is like this, and maybe probably you have seen this image in your first standard, but it's good to revise. Okay, so nowadays RAMs are also coming with a funky case on top of them like this to color code your PC if you have a transparent glass or something like that. So that is called as a RAM, and which goes into those memory slots down there. On that port there you will have your various cards hooked up, like graphics cards and sound cards. Graphics card is nothing but this, which just controls all the graphics, on your computer. We call this as GPU, that is graphics or graphical processing unit. So that is just basically a graphics card which goes into the port we have just seen on the motherboard. So, and what is sound card? Sound card is this, which basically just controls all the sound, especially if you have a home theater or thing like that. So sound card is very important, and that too goes into the slot provided by the motherboard. So that is sound card. And if you go at the back of the motherboard, you will find rear I/O panel. That is just where your connections are. Audio in, audio out, USBs, Ethernet, etc, etc. So this is basically an I/O, rear I/O ports. So there you can see some SATA, USB 3.0 hubs, and some audio channels, and Ethernet. Ethernet is nothing but you can plug in your internet cable in there and all that kinds of stuff. So by this you can actually say that this is the heart of your computer. So maybe you have noticed we have different we have two types of USBs here. We have the blue one and the black one. The black one is actually USB 2.0, but the blue one is the latest version, USB 3.0. That is the way of detecting the USB port. So maybe your motherboard doesn't have these USB ports. It depends on the quality and cost of the motherboard. Let's move on to the power supply. And this is just basically your power supply, where we have a cable, a plug in which you'll plug in, and this will supply all the power equally and supervisingly to all the parts of your computer. So learn about it, but it's just a simple power supply. You have a fan also in the power supply to reduce the heat. Okay, so let's talk about HDD, and that is hard drive, HARDD, and drive, D, HDD. Okay, so that's the short form basically, and this is it. This will just store all your data on a computer permanently for a long time. So this is the HHD. In my case, this is Seagate company's 4 TB version, and maybe you'll be having a lesser or more greater version of this, or you'll be having a lesser or greater space in your hard drive. So this is just storing the data of yours on the computer. So this is what it looks like from the inside, and don't mistaken this with the external hard drives. External hard drives are just portable hard drives which we can access them with a USB port. So this is an internal hard drive. So that was with hard drives. Nothing to learn much about them. They just store your data and like pictures and files and videos. So nothing to learn much about them. So now moving on to optical drives, or CD or DVD drives, in which you insert your CD or DVD. We call them as optical drives. They go in top left, top right of your CPU. If you take the side panel off, as I've mentioned earlier in this video, that all the drives go at the right hand side of your PC. So there they go. And one more important thing I just forgot to mention, that you may not find your small square CPU on the motherboard. Instead you will find a fan, because CPU gets heat and it have to cool. So we will attach a fan on the CPU. In order to see the CPU, you have to take out the fan. So there are many fans out there, and some even have a water cooling system in their computers. But yeah, so this is just a basic intro on computer parts. I know this is not in extreme detail, but I have just given a brief description of various computer parts that you'll be working on daily. So this was a little okay. So comment which part do you feel is the most important in the computer. Like my videos if you like them. Obviously you should like them because I make such good videos. And subscribe to my channel and don't miss any of my amazing videos. So take care of yourself, and we'll meet you later, my basic beginners.